All right, I'm going to start this video with something maybe slightly controversial. This book is not that good. The beginning of the Gate of the Feral Gods, I don't know if it's just starting off really slow or maybe, I haven't been paying attention all that much, but the beginning of this book is just not good. I have kind of lost a little bit of interest in some of the story. Like, I don't know if it's going to pick up later on, but I just think that this is the worst of his writing so far. And this is the section that's keeping the least of my interest. Like, I feel like I'm kind of losing a little bit of interest. Like, when I'm listening to it, I'm not that excited to listen to these sections anymore. It just doesn't feel like it's going that many places. Again, I kind of take that back. I feel like he might be going somewhere, but it's just taking him a really long time to get there. And there's all sorts of these meaningless encounters that are happening in the beginning of the book because I just don't think he has a very, very clear understanding of where he wants to go. Now, they're trying to get to the Gate of the Feral Gods, and I'm kind of probably 3 hours into listening, and I really feel like there isn't anything that happened. Like, I could talk about a few things. So the Gate of the Feral Gods is the important thing I think that they're going through and they're trying to figure out. But I don't think he even does a really good job of explaining what this thing is or the significance of this. There's other things like the sponsor gifts come into play, and then there's all of a sudden the glitch that happens in the game, and then it was a glitch that happens right before they take on the boss. And then there was also this notion where Chris, the guy who's the brother of the guy that died, he kind of comes back, and he's in this level with Carl. He's like in the little separate section, and he already defeated his quadrant. So there's a few things that are going on, but the whole entirety of this section so far, I just think is kind of boring. And I want to know if I'm maybe alone on this, or if you were reading this, if you kind of thought the same, or maybe you thought this section was like incredible and I'm just kind of going crazy here thinking that it's not good. I just find this section to be probably the worst written one, which an author can write good stuff and bad stuff. No problem with that. But it was a disappointment and a bummer because coming off of the high of the end of the last book, which was like really fun and good, and Katya and all that kind of stuff. Even the Tangle, it was kind of confusing, but there was still like an interest that I had in the beginning of the book with them choosing the race and stuff like that. The beginning of this book has just kind of fallen flat for me. And I find it really hard to I guess stay focused and try to figure out what they're doing, because it just kind of feels like it's not meaningless and pointless, but there's not that much exciting stuff that's going on. Again, I think the most exciting things that are happening are they're trying to figure out what the Gate of the Feral Gods is, and there's something interesting about that. I don't really know what's going on there, but Carl is trying to figure out stuff that has to do with, what these gods really are and their power, I guess. And then there's also the sponsor gifts that come into play. They didn't get that great of sponsor gifts, so I don't have that much to talk about with that. The only thing that I think is really interesting to talk about is the glitch that happened in the game, which I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is or that could be. And the fact that there's two characters that I want to talk about. Lucia, who I actually think is very normal now. Like, I think that the AI is showing her to be some kind of psychopath, or they're editing it to make her look like a crazy person. I think they're going to meet her and they're going to realize that she's actually kind of normal. Maybe on this level, probably not on this level, but on the next level or the level after that, I feel like they're going to meet her maybe in the hunting grounds or something. And she's going to defend Carl or do something that's going to show her normalness. So I'm kind of anticipating that. And then also the Chris situation is weird. He seems like someone who's not normal, but maybe when they get to him, they'll realize he's a little bit off. But there's Chris is still deep down in there because he's a rock monster. But to be completely honest, I don't have that much else to talk about this section. They're just kind of grinding. They're beating some bosses. They're grinding out some mob wins. They're meeting a few people. They lost a quest really quick because the people that they're with are kind of idiots. I don't know how some of them got past and got to this level. And there's not much else that's happening. I just find the beginning of this book to be really boring. And I think I remember someone saying in a comment, that the second half of this book gets really good, and that's kind of where it like jumps off, and the next book is really good, and the book after that is really good. So I'm hoping that that's the case, because this book really is not capturing my interest. I again think this is the worst. This is the most boring and dullest beginning to a book that he has written yet. But I guess maybe I just ended where it's starting to kind of pick up a little bit, but not that much. Like there's maybe some kind of intrigue that I have for this book. But I just find it a little bit tedious and boring at the moment. Let me know if I'm in the wrong on that one, or if you guys think I'm completely off, or if you guys really like the beginning of this book. But I don't really have much else to talk about. So I'm going to keep listening to it and keep talking about them, but that's kind of all I got. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.